Welcome back to the Inner Mind Code with myself, Victoria Armstrong, Stuart Cheung, and this week we have a guest. Sarah. She's come all the way over to Spain from England. Left her radio station behind for a week. Psychic Vibes, isn't that?
Psychic Vibes on your radio, solihull.co.uk. So every Saturday, 10.
There we go.
Not this week though, because I was in Spain. I'm in Spain with you.
I picked her up yesterday from the centre she was working at, and introduced her to all the locals here in Spain.
Red wine and.
Of course, you're in Spain.
Of red wine.
You have to have some. I have to say it with the proper. Rioja.
Yeah, and a rueda, actually.
And a rueda.
And I do salsa dancing.
Yes.
So that was a
salsa
synchronicity.
Yeah.
Because they're doing a workshop today, which I'm going to miss. And there's a little cork with rueda written on it, which means dancing in a circle. And I took a picture of my group.
Because rueda is actually... is wheel. It means wheel in Spanish, yeah. I was thinking that last night.
So salsa, you dance when you do rueda. It's a specific salsa dance.
There's an inner circle.
In a circle, and there can be an inner.
We used to do that where there was a group inside and you swap partners and you go round to the inner way. Yes, that's a rueda. Yeah, there we go. I didn't even know I've already done that.
Wow.
There we go. So we're talking about synchronicities. I think that's a good lead in.
That's a good start. A very good start.
Then you put a bottle of wine and you look and you think, rueda.
I know, we just started talking about it and everybody was like, what?
What's that doing there? On a call.
And it wasn't even called, the wine wasn't even called Rueda. I can't even remember the name of it. It was something with them. But anyway, yes. Yeah. But that's what we're talking about, synchronicities. I can't even show. I took a screenshot last night because one example of a synchronicity is when you see double numbers on your phone and things. I just need to introduce Sarah as a former colleague. We worked together on Sky TV with Psychic Today, and Sarah came in. You worked previously and then came back.
I've done quite a few TV shows over the time.
That's true. Yes, she's
came back veteran. To Psychic Today. Yeah,
and that's where we met. I took her under my wing, thinking she was the new girl.
And what you did, because it was my first show.
Yeah,
and I walked in and I got a lovely friend here. Which Vicky's just great with everybody.
Well, I was just getting her PIN number sorted and all the things I had to go through. So
I was nervous.
That's true. I was like, what have you got to be nervous about?
That's normal. Normal to be nervous.
Yeah. So I just wanted to put that bit as well. So Sarah's very in tune. She's been doing readings and shows all week.
Yeah.
So that's why we thought she's perfect for Stuart and I to bring on as a guest. So I'm going to hand over to Stuart this week to lead the synchronicities.
Okay.
Since it was your topic.
And look, it's funny that a lot of stuff has been happening lately that I can't explain, right? And when we go out there and we do our daily lives, sometimes we have these little kind of things that are unexplained, things that you might see as a bit profound, or if you come across a friend that you were thinking about, or a friend that you're thinking about, and then all of a sudden you get a phone call from them. It's something that is very unique and special, right? That you were thinking about this person and all of a sudden, boom, they're ringing you. Or if you see a sign in like the numbers, as you're saying, 1111. I heard somebody talking about the 222 earlier on. These signals, or whatever you want to call them, from the universe that happen with like a causality or like a coincidence, or some people call them different things, but synchronicities can be either a coincidence or not a coincidence. You could say that something's a coincidence, and you're walking down the road and you bump into somebody that that could be a coincidence, right? Whereas the synchronicity, I believe, is much more powerful, and there's there's a unique energy to it. There's a unique, something from the universe, or something that is guiding us. And, this is actually scientifically proven as well, that synchronicities are, there's something that is happening at a quantum level. So for me, because so many synchronicities have been happening of late, I started to delve a bit deeper into it, and I came across a guy called Dr. Tom Myers. And Dr. Tom Myers has a PhD in synchronicity. And yeah, so which I didn't know you could get such a thing, right? So, but if you start delving a bit deeper into these things, you find out a bit more. So he has a PhD in this, and he talks about how things can happen at a molecular level, at a metaphysical level, where your atoms are attracting certain things, and like if your atoms are positively charged with a certain energy, then you are going to attract that certain energy back into your life. So he was talking about how if you have synchronicities happening in your life, how you can plug into it a bit more and how you can learn to actually have more, right? But that aside, and talking at a much higher and spiritual level, as we're talking this morning, ever since I set up the coaching company, there has been synchronicities and stuff that are quite profound that I can't explain. There's stuff that is happening that, like, if my conscious mind gets in the way, it will stop. Right? I have to let the heart lead. And funny enough, he talked about the heart as well, and how if you have something that you're truly passionate about and you put out that energy into the universe, like I always say, things happen for a reason. So I'm consciously thinking that, at a conscious level, subconscious level, and from my heart as well, that these things happen for a reason. All the things in the universe happen for a reason. But of late, in the last maybe 6, 7, 8 months, these things have been happening at a much higher level and a higher frequency, and a lot more synchronicities are happening, which I can't explain. And again, if I put this and get this involved, it's just going to stop it all, I believe. If I start questioning it, if I start like kind of going, oh, why is this happening? Well, I have to let things lead from my heart and let things flow. Exactly, so that for me, I believe if you put out certain intentions into the universe, you will attract a lot more into your life in terms of the synchronistic, relationships, the synchronistic vibes, the synchronistic, happenings, and these things will just, they'll come across your path without you even looking for them, without you even kind of, wanting them to happen. And even up to yesterday, okay, there were very small synchronicities yesterday, but I met a guy, and he said it was funny that I had the same hairstyle as his son. And then he showed me a picture, and I was like, what? And, so we got talking then. And then as we were talking, and I was showing him something on my screen, a name popped up on my screen to wish me happy birthday, right? And it was a person that he knew. And he was like, Magda, I know Magda. And like, so, we were just sitting down, and, so again, it's funny the way the universe has a way of speaking to us at a much higher vibration or frequency, that if we're on the right path with something, or if we believe in something strongly enough, that more and more of these synchronicities will start to happen and start to flow. So I don't know what your guys' beliefs are in terms of this, but for me, it could be a mystical thing, it could be a spiritual thing, it could be a thing that is guided from my purpose. If you're aligned with your purpose, and if you're perfectly aligned with your purpose, the universe can have a way of speaking to you as well. So that's my take on it. I'll pass it over to you guys for a sec. I've spoken enough at the moment, or talked enough about
it. Did you just say it was your birthday yesterday?
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thanks very much. My 45th rotation around the sun.
Happy birthday, dear Stuart. Happy birthday to you. Or say, please.
I gotta go now.
Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna go all red now. I'm gonna start blushing.
Yes, I'll hand over to Sarah then for the purpose.
Exactly as you were speaking, I'm thinking everything aligns. The synchronicities are confirmations that you're on track.
Yes.
When it happens, you're like, okay, that's right, that's positive, affirmative, we're on track, good, feels good. What's next? What's more? Always seeking more, never still. moving.
Like the ocean.
So synchronicity you're going to find, it's going to appear in front of you, it's on your road, it's in your path.
That's true.
And you just gently acknowledge and you think, okay, I've seen that, that's good. But you don't let it stop you. It's not, I think too many people overanalyze and go into a fear mode. And what you need to not do in life is analyze and think, why has it happened? You just accept it and think, oh, that's good. That's really good. Having confidence is a big thing. And like I say, just moving forwards and just waiting for those things to come into your path. And the word align was perfect for me. We're aligning. And when you're talking about it's very, I can't think of the word, non-human. It's almost like an energy that's going around you. It's a feeling. You have that feeling, you have that intuition, and it locks in. When you're spiritual, I'm not too sure it's with everybody. Do you think it's more spiritual people?
When you're in the zone, I think it's when you're in the zone.
Yeah.
Your neural.
You kind of know things are happening, you get this feeling things are happening.
Yeah.
And the great thing about it is you're actually in the dark. Because you don't know necessarily what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And you can have a surprise, and it's like that surprise is almost like, look at that. Wow.
Yeah.
And I always say with me, when the big things happen, they come in threes.
Yes.
Oops.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, we've lost you, Stuart.
Oh, sorry.
There. Phone ring or something?
Can you see me? No?
No, you've just gone off camera altogether. There's a blooper.
Sorry, one second.
Put it out there about bloopers.
Yeah.
Sorry now. Oh, the video's gone off. Okay.
There you go.
There you go.
There we go.
Back, and you're back in the room. Okay.
So it will come in a three.
Yeah. Yes, I believe that too.
Yeah. It doesn't happen regularly. But the power and the move forward will be, oh, that's good. And then something else happens, and then something else, and you're like, right, we've put the work in, we've waited nicely, we don't give up, we keep going forwards, and then all of a sudden it's falling into place. And it's about, humans are all about time, and it's nothing to do with time, it's to do with when you're ready. The synchronization in, I want to sell that house. I'm desperate to go. I feel unhappy. I need this, this, and this. It's not happening.
Yeah.
So when that kind of thing isn't happening, the people that are going to buy the house aren't aligned and ready. Everyone's ready, and that contract has to come in at the right time. So just make yourself busy in the meantime until it actually concentrates on other stuff. So yeah, synchronicities, contracts are meant to be. We're born with contracts within our energy. Rush it, we don't force it. We just fill it out, play out life, and let it happen in the final contract.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that in terms of, as you say, the lining up. I always say to people, you're sitting at 11:59. You're not quite at midnight yet. The clock hasn't struck 12. And people want everything yesterday. And it's the best, I think, analogy I've heard is when you go to a restaurant and you ask the waiter to bring you chicken with potatoes and gravy, whatever. And then it's like you getting up and going into the kitchen and talking to the chef and say, have you gotten the chicken yet? Have you put seasoning on it? Have you boiled the potatoes? Have you peeled those potatoes even? And it's like you're getting all interfere. You wouldn't do that in a restaurant. You trust the chef to cook it up, the waiter to bring it to your table when it's ready. And yet we do that. We go into the universal kitchen and we're like, where is it? I wanted it yesterday. It's not here. Where is it? Is he ever going to ask me out? Is he ever going to,
He's control.
It's trying to control things. You wouldn't do it in a restaurant, so don't do it with the universe. It's an all-knowing entity. You only have to ask for it once, I believe, and the universe has heard it. And it's just like, you sort yourself out. We need to focus on our energy. We're sitting at, sometimes we're not 11:59. We have to get ourselves to 11:59, and then we'll know. And I always get that intuitive nudge. It's like nothing will happen for, say, a month, or even 2 months, 3 months. The example you were using about the house, I knew 1 year I was moving house, and it took me November, and then sat down one night and looked up. I was moving from Ireland over to England, and the 14th house on the list I looked at, that's the one I'm going to. Wasn't in it. There was built-in wardrobes, that was about it, and carpets and blinds. And then nothing happened for another week. Then I went over to see my cousin for her 40th, obviously runs in the family, because she says, "Oh, I've got your father here and he's telling me you're moving house." And I says, "Yes." And she said, "Are you coming to England?" And I'm like, I says, "He always gives me away." Always outs me.
Secrets.
He tells me secrets. But obviously that was the right time. So then she said, okay. So she says, "We're in England." And I says, "Well, I've looked at a house in Chester." Right. Because it says, "Get on the phone and ring them now and get a viewing booked." And I was there till I was going actually down to Milton Keynes to work in the studio. So I says, right. So I made the appointment for Monday afternoon when I was coming back up the road. I got caught in the M6 and they said, "Look, we're only 5 minutes away from the house, so just let us know when you're here," which I did. Went in, the house was exactly as I thought it would be. Lovely calmness, like silence. It was on a bit of a busy road, but there was still a nice calm and silence in the house. Turned out two owners before me it was a vicar and his wife. So that was the reality that I was picking up, even in the photos. But no, I applied for it, moved in, I think it was a couple weeks later. I was on the boat with my belongings and the cat in the car and the keys. And that was it. And that's...
So the feeling of
it was already, but it took me 9 months to get lined up and to be ready for the house.
Yeah. When you got there, the synchronicities, it's clicked.
It did.
I feel right. I've connected.
Yes.
That's done.
It's like Bishop.
Yeah.
What's next?
Yeah, next challenge.
next challenge. So, like, I just want to talk a bit more about the profound ones, right? So, I'll start off with maybe something that happened to me years and years and years ago. I met one of my best friends, right? Who's a really, really good friend to me nowadays.
Yeah.
And I used to work in this place in a deli in Rathfarnham, a small village in Dublin, if you're looking at this further afield. And this woman used to come in and we used to chat. We chat all the time, you know. She kept on saying to me, "Listen, you must meet my son Mark. He's big into martial arts. He's, you know, into acting. You know, I think you guys would get on really well. He loves kind of, you know, looking into the spiritual stuff, you know, all this crack." And, you know, she'd come in over the weeks and months, keep on saying this to me, and I never met the guy. Never, you know, hadn't met him. For whatever reason, it was just so busy, and she kept on trying to push it and, you know, force it and this, that, and the other. And she said, "Oh, I must give you his phone number." And I said, "Oh yeah, next time you're in," you know, and it never happened. So then, lo and behold, I think it was a few weeks after, you know, one of our last kind of meetings in the deli, she had I don't know, said stuff to her son as well about me, you know, about, "Oh, you must meet this guy, you know, you must see this guy, he works up in this deli in Rathfarnham," you know, and like the guy's literally just down the road, right? So we were or I was at this extras thing in Ardmore Studios, right? I used to do a bit of extras work, and it was for an ad for Super Value, and I sat around this round table, and, you know, each one of us were about 12 of us there. Each one of us had to give a bit of our background and, you know, to start a conversation. So we went around this table, and it came to me.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh yeah, my name's Stuart." I actually didn't say that, funny enough. I said, "Oh, I work in this deli in Rathfarnham. I'm big into mixed martial arts. I'm, you know, delving into the world of acting, so on and so forth." And then from across the table, this guy goes to me, "Your name is Stuart, is it?" And I was like, "Sorry?" And I kind of, and then this guy continued on my conversation about me, and I was like, "Well, who is this guy?" You know, and I was like, "But I'd never seen this guy before in my life," and he knew all these things about me. I almost fell off the chair. And he goes, "My name's Mark." And I was like, "Your name wouldn't be Mark Murray, would it?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "You're Stuart Cheung." And I was like, you know, so we were sat around the table after months, after I don't know how long his mum had been saying to me, "You must meet my son." And there we were on a total different occasion in the Ardmore Studio, sitting around this table, random 12 people, and he was one of the random 12 people. And now we're best friends. So, you know, for me, it was just phenomenal the way it happened, because I had it in the back of my mind I was always meant to meet this guy. He probably had the same thing going on in his mind, and then all of a sudden we ended up sitting at this table in the Ardmore Studios doing extras work on an ad for Super Value.
Yeah,
couldn't believe it. And the laughter we had, we just connected like that. They had to tell us to shut up at one stage because there was so much laughter going on through one of the scenes. I think it was the last scene of the night where the manager would go, "That's super value," and then everyone else would go, "That's shopping as it should be," and we'd be like, "This is a harmless plug for Super Value, by the way. If guys from Super Value are listening, there you go." So, you know, and they kept on doing these takes after takes after takes after takes because we couldn't stop laughing. There was me, Mark, and this other girl. We're just laughing away and giggling about different things. You know, when you get the fits of laughter, and they had to stop. And they said a few times, "Listen, guys, if you don't stop, we're either going to kick you off the set or, you know, we have to come back tomorrow. Could you please shut up?" But, you know, it was just, you know, the bond we had already, the friendship we made, the connection we had was phenomenal.
Uh-huh.
You've come into life, you've gone and done your business, and then you've aligned, and you've come together, and you feel the connection. So by wording, this lady knew. She knew you'd have to make
introduce her.
It didn't work. It didn't work. Got forgotten, and then all of a sudden.
Yes.
Table, and it's like,
there you are.
There we go.
Yeah,
there we go.
I had a lady, or 3 ladies, come for a reading and sat in front of me, and I was looking for a note. I was looking for paper for them to write the reading down. Couldn't find it anywhere. Cut along. I said, "Who's Mark?" And it was her son in spirit who had taken his life in prison.
Oh, wow.
And when he took his life, his name was Mark. And as I said it, a little bit of plastic flew off the back of the blind and flew at them. And when we picked it up, it looked like a V or an L. I said, "Who's the V and who's the L?" The sister was Vicky and the mom was Lynn. And the auntie was...
Wow.
And so there was an inquest into Mark's death. And I was seeing this family regularly to bring him through. He was an absolute sod. He used to tease his sister, have her screaming. They'd come to shows and all sorts. So I saw them regularly. And I said to Lynn, "I'm going to come to the inquest." So I told them there would be 9 people on the jury and there would be a big bloke in a Birmingham City Football Club T-shirt.
Of course.
And we're Blues fans in Birmingham.
Mm-hmm.
So there he was. The guy was there. One juror didn't make it. I don't know what it was. I went through this inquest with them, and it was said that Mark was basically scared because he owed money for cigarettes, and a bit macabre, but he hung himself. But at the time he did it, he was still alive, and the inmates were trained in first aid. But the security guards at that time were not.
Oh, wow.
So he was taken, and then he passed. So at the end of the inquest, it was concluded accidental death. But the judge in, "Is there anything?" He was tearful, and he says, "Is there anything I can do? I can say anything on record?" And she said, "I'd like every prison officer trained in the first aid." And he said, in writing, this is, we've got a recording. That was that. Goodbye. She never had any readings after that. A period down the line, I get booked to go and do some readings in a place called Handsworth. Didn't have anybody to look after my little kids, so I had to take them with me, and I was in a rush. They sat in the I went through to the back. I started talking to a lady I was reading for, who was a prison officer.
Wow.
"So what have you been doing today?" And she said, "I've been on a course for first aid."
Oh, I just got goosebumps down my back.
And I looked at her and I went,
Wow.
"Say something to you, and I want to say he's absolutely fine. I have Mark," I had his surname, I can't remember what it was, "with me. Are you the officer that attended him in Winson Green Prison?" And she said, "Yes."
Oh, wow.
And I said,
Wow.
"Have any of the other prison officers been trained?" She said, "We've all just had it." So I was on the phone to Lynn that night, who had moved to near East Midlands Airport, predicted it all. And I phoned Lynn. They've done the training for the first aid.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
My whole industry changed.
Yeah.
From his passing.
I started with the read. Started with the seeing her, the connection, an amazing connection with Mark, and who obviously when we go, we don't go. So they're all part of the act. Spirits are all part of spirits in us, but we're still playing things out when we go to spirits because we might.
Yes.
And that's another synchronicity.
Yeah.
Which would be my son was born the date my dad died. The 20th of February, he's born the date. He looks like my dad with a beard. And then his granddad, John, died on the same date.
Oh, wow.
And I said to him, you're the granddad killer? And my daughter, who I desperately wanted, got pregnant through blocked tubes. She's born 12 years after Tommy. She's due on her scan the 25th of May, my mum's birthday.
Oh, wow.
Wow. You know, it's funny you say that about numbers as well, because I was born on the 7th of February. My mum was born on the 7th of March, and my dad was born on the 7th of July. So there's 3 sevens there, right? And then my mum passed on the 21st of the, let me get this right, 21st of the 7th of 21, right? So there's 3 sevens, and if you divide 21 by 3, it's sevens. So it's 21st of the 7th, 21, and my youngest daughter was born on the 23rd of the 9th, 23. So there's the 222s there as well, the gap of the 222s, you know?
So we have a synchronicity there because Vicky looked at the phone last night and said, look, 2323.
I said one night.
Wow.
I can't show it because I'm obviously on the phone.
2323.
And I looked it up, and it was about bringing an area of life into balance and harmony and stability.
Wow.
Being, I think, was the main theme. I looked it up to see what it meant.
But we saw that last night, and you were just telling us your daughter 2323.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
I think it is a massive numbers. I think it's so, and it's a definite language.
Yeah.
And it's, if you really looked into it, you just haven't got time to work it all out because it's magic.
Yeah.
It's like
magic. And my granddad always said if you could use numbers or work with numbers, you would rule the world. That was always a funny saying that he used to come out with. So if you can work with numbers, you can know number. I think he was so in tune at times. We didn't appreciate it as kids, and it's only off his. It's like a legacy he's left us with.
His teachings have come.
He would say that he thought it fell asleep. My brother being the youngest, said, "Oh, the baby's asleep there. Oh, he'll be away over Belfast by now." And it was like he was out of his body flying somewhere.
Yeah.
Wow.
And my mum said, "Yeah, he always said that when we were kids." And he understood traveling without understanding astral traveling consciously.
Honestly,
I know I've had experience where I've been in my own apartment. I asked them to show me, and they showed me. Actually, was living in Galway, and I was lying in bed, and I kind of woke up. Someone just said to me, it was 2:00. I'd just gone 2:00, and I was working from home that day, and it was like, go and lie down. And I could feel myself just starting to get tired, so I went and lay down, put my blanket over me. And I woke up, and I, for some reason, tried to move my arms up and down like this, and they wouldn't move. I could feel them moving, but they weren't moving. And I couldn't see them. I mean, half shut, and I'm like, what is going on? And then this voice, as calm as you like to said, your body's not here. And I'm like, I can feel it. And then next thing, energetic template form of me came in from the window, stood at the bottom of the bed, like same hairstyle, everything. And it was like this other calmness kicked in. It was like, oh, your body's here. So I'm looking at me, standing looking at me, or lying there looking at me, standing there. I fell asleep again. The phone rang, must have been 5 minutes, I assumed. It woke me up properly. I answered the phone, and the first thing I did was this, saw my arms moving up and down. But what they were showing me is that, there's, I've written about this, the 6 energy bodies, astral being one of them, causal, there's an emotional body, the pain body, they've all got different names. But you can look them up on Google. They all relate. When you're doing, say, energy healing, you're going to bodies. People can come out of their body while they're lying there conscious. They can come out of their body and stand on the other side of the treatment bed and be working away with me.
Working away well.
And then a guide will come in, and you're solely aware. One girl used to work with me all the time. She was one of my teachers. She would just leave her body. She was standing there working on me. But I could sense her getting some part of her left and went out the front door, left the house, and then came towards the end. And how do you explain that? But they were showing me.
It's like a parallel.
I said parallel, but to go back to where I could feel myself out of my body, I was sleeping, left the body in the bed. I was in my kitchen. It just went through the wall. It was like I was in this clear gel, and I couldn't feel my feet.
Wow.
My feet just ended at my ankles. And I was conscious of it, and I was like, this is cool, this is freaky. You know, I was having this...
I'll be screaming.
Yeah. And I thought, right, if I'm actually dreaming or astral traveling, I suppose, I'll be able to go through the front door without opening it. And I did, and I passed called wood. I was in a top floor apartment, so it wasn't a strong door as such. And then I passed back in, and then I must have gone down the hall, and next thing I woke up. And I'm like, okay, so that's what that's... But then I became aware of people. Sarah was saying last night about your mum, wasn't it? Sitting beside the bed.
In my dream.
Yeah, in her dream. Yeah. I would be aware
Wow.
of the computer, or I'm about to wrap up and go to bed, and there's somebody hanging around, you know, the living room, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, that's who I'm going travelling with tonight. And I've just come to accept. Don't allow them in my room. But then, or I have to come out of my body to go with them. And then you have your dreams. You don't always... You dream every night. I've said this to so many people.
Well, that's another thing.
But you don't always remember.
Synchronicity, deja vu.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this, yeah.
I don't get it now. And I think when you don't work with the spiritual, you get deja vu.
Yeah.
My son used to get it.
Right.
And I'm like, you've got to work with the spiritual and it will stop. So it stopped.
Oh,
I don't get it now.
They give me things in advance, so then I know I'm on the right track.
But when you do have it, that is like telling you something. Try and go that little bit further.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've got there. Let's get a bit further.
There's a scientific, if I can explain the scientific part of it, it's because I'm a computer person, I can relate it to computers. So if you wipe a disk, and if you have a USB stick or a hard drive and you wipe it, you don't completely wipe it. There's always little bits and pieces. Yeah. And it's the same. You come out of your body, go down your timeline, past life, past whatever. You're coordinating things, getting things set up. So that's why I realised, we're constantly organising things and doing stuff, making sure it's going to happen. Like you're probably working with the guy, Mark. So you did meeting up, you know, you knew you had to go to that extras meeting that day. And he was making sure he was there. So that was all being destined in the sense. Yeah. So then you go down your timeline. Then as you come back in, you have that amnesia. So the disc is wiped. So you don't remember it because you still have to go through it and have a human experience. So when you do go down the timeline and you get to that point, the little fragments that still remain connect in, and that's the brain connecting, the neurons, everything's remembering because it's not totally wiped. So we will have, like, kids up to the age of 7 have proved now that they'll have memories of past lives. Yeah. And I remember having a dream, we talked about that before. So then over time it gets faded, doesn't it? You don't remember it, or it all gets repressed. So isn't it the higher conscious mind remembers everything? I take people on their Akashic records. Sometimes we do that in the meditation class. We go in, we go to the Akashic hall, get their big book of records and everything so they can ask a question they need to know the answer to. And it'll write the answer in front of them.
The Google.
The Google
of life.
Google of life.
Oh,
Akashic Google.
Akashic Google. It's a Google of your... You can ask any question and get... there's a wee message to come up there. Choose the positive. Choose it every day. Yeah. That's a really nice message. So I was going to lead on to then when we don't listen on the other side of the coin. So these things are happening to make sure that we meet the milestones, obviously, that our soul contracts want us to meet. But then you'll get, and I have been guilty of that in the past. So you get the little feather. You literally will get a feather, or you'll get the numbers, double numbers, or you'll get some sort of synchronicity saying you're on the right track, keep going. But we ignore it. Then you get what I would call the brick. So you get something a bit harsher to get your attention. And the idea of that is that there's a story of a little boy where his friend was in a wheelchair and he fell out of the wheelchair and he couldn't get people's attention. So a guy with a brand new Jaguar car came along and he picked up the brick and threw it at the car and put a dent in it. So of course the guy gets out and the guy starts crying, and we kids start crying. He says, my friend needs help and nobody will stop. And the guy's like, oh my God, I'm going so fast through life. I don't even see a child in need. So he kept the dent in the car as a reminder, and he got the kid in the car and got him to hospital. He needed medical help. So that's where the brick analogy comes from. And then we have what I had, the truck. where if you're not going to listen, there's a couple of people I know recently had car accidents.
Yeah, if
because you're not listening, and I it was like, well, if you're not going to listen, we're going to make you sit on your backside for 7 weeks with a broken ankle and listen, because you need to do the spiritual work. I was totally resisting it. I was like, I don't believe in this hippie. I was like, well, we're going to make you sit and wait, and we're going to talk to you non-stop for 7 weeks. But then when I started to listen, it all kicked in. The doctor said to me, your ankle is healing really quickly. I was doing Reiki on it.
Mind affects the body.
No, I was willing it to. I was like, right, I'm on the right track. I could feel it. We're in that zone. We're seeing the neurons now. And within a short space of time, I was driving. I'm literally back on the road again. And
Wow.
took my truck and went. I was like, I got the hits. But that's just, I'd say to people, you got the feather, the brick, and the truck. If you don't listen, so it's easier just to listen. It's a bit like our leave them.
There's a reluctance inside, a fear to be hurt.
Absolutely.
And almost like an energy that you pull back and you become sluggish because you're in fear of making a mistake, it being wrong.
Yeah.
Instead of just yourself in, make the mistake.
Trust.
Wipe yourself off. Try something.
Trust.
Yeah.
Trust is a huge one, because again, like if you're letting things flow, I think it's better just to go with that, right? Because if your conscious mind comes in and the analytical side comes in, then you put a full stop to everything, whereas if you just let things flow and let things guide you, I think it's much more powerful than, it's trying to analyze it too much or trying to say, why did that happen? And, this, that, and the other. And I think as people, we normally kind of just, the conscious mind comes in and says, why, it can put us at a halt. It can put us at a full stop, So that's why I try and leave it out. I try and leave it out altogether and let the heart guide and just let it flow for, and ever since that, it's been much more powerful, so one thing has led to another,
Yeah. There's a lot of peer pressure.
Societal, yeah.
And you have to do as you're told.
Yeah.
And if you come out of that and just do your own thing, be a bit of a rebel. I was now I'll get the sack. I don't like people that are selfish or not community minded, and there's a lot of people out there like that.
Yeah.
So a community, but synchronicities they're always happening for you, and you don't need to go looking for them or wondering when they're going to be.
They'll find
just
you.
Acknowledge them when they happen. And that and then when you've got confirmation, you're moving forwards.
Exactly. And when we talk about the spiritual world, I mean, I don't know if I've said this to you before, Vic, but a few days before my mum passed, I think it was 2 days before my mum passed, I was sleeping on a couch, right? And that's a long story. But I was sleeping on this couch, and then I woke up because I heard this voice, and it was like somebody was right beside me. And it was my mum's voice, and it said, "Stuart, thanks be to God." And it was like she was here, here. And I woke up, and my first reaction was, I need to send a message to my brother to see if my mum's okay. And so I sent a message to my brother. Thankfully enough, he was up. I think it was about 3:30 in the morning or something like that, or just after 3. And I sent the message to my brother, and he was up for whatever reason, and he said, I'll go check on her. She'd been getting sick. So I said to myself, I have to get down to the house as soon as possible. So the following morning, it was only a few hours later, I went down to the house, and there she was. She was getting sick. She was shaking. She was slightly incoherent. There was a lot of stuff going on with her. And, I just sat with her, and I told her I loved her, and all these things, and then the day after she was gone. So it was like, for me, I don't know whether that was synchronicity. I don't know whether it was a higher level speaking to me, because she believed as well. She was very in tune, like what you said earlier on about your granddad. very in tune, very in tune with stuff that was going on, very in tune with the universe, very in tune with the spirit world. And, there was a lot of stuff there that maybe I might have put up a bit of resistance to over the years. Maybe I didn't fully, believe or take part in it. But then for that to happen was profound for me. It was like she was right beside me and as clear as day saying that to me. And, I woke up in shock because I was like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's like my mum was in the room, So, and then obviously she passed 2 days later, but I felt she brought me there, she brought me to see her.
Yes, yeah. You also find, I don't know whether you find this, when they've gone or when people have gone, you naturally grieve without knowing it. So you can be really sad and you think, I don't know what's wrong with me. And then, oh God, it was Dad's birthday.
Yes, that's happened to me every year. And
Wow, yeah.
Or you know about it.
Oh yeah, I've just been in floods of tears, and I'm like, what is going on with me? And I've consciously blocked it out. I've been aware, it's like, oh, it's coming up to his birthday or Father's Day, or
as a human,
and then I'm like, I totally have a blank. And then it was this year, 4th of January was his actual funeral anniversary, and I went for a wee siesta. Woke up, and I just in tears, just started crying nonstop for about 2 hours. Just couldn't stop. It was coming in waves. And then it dawned on me, oh my God. So I was like, what's the date?
Yeah, 4th of January. You see the date, you contract dates within you, without of you. You're reminded. You are reminded. I think that feeling of healing.
I felt so much better.
Let's just,
And then it's just like something lifted off me.
Don't forget me.
No, well, I can't.
There. And I find that a week or 2 weeks before, I'm like, with me, because I'm not somebody, I'm not like that.
Yeah.
I'm quite
happy-go-lucky. No, you're not.
I do think I'm not emotionally thick, but I think I'm quite laid back.
It was...
You know what I mean? So I'm not one that's going to easily cry.
Modest.
Rarely cry. But then I think, why am I sad? What's going on? And it is.
You recognise it.
Hold on a minute. That's somebody's birthday.
Yeah.
And and we need to love them and embrace them and then move forward.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Those are synchronicities as well.
Yeah.
Around you
I'll share.
Something you don't know. You don't know it's happening until it does.
Aye.
And then,
you can't ignore it. It's so obvious.
That's
You're like,
it.
I have to pay attention here.
Yeah, good or bad.
Yeah. So I'd love to share with you about the profound synchronicities, right, that have been happening of late. So some of these that, like a lot of these don't make sense. So to me, for my conscious mind, they don't make sense, but they make perfect sense at the same time. So when I set up this company, I was telling Vic that I feel that it's been guided by higher a presence, either by my mum or by the mystical aspect of it here in Ireland. I don't know, right? But so I wanted to set up a personal development company for a long time. And a lot of things stopped me over the last few years. I went through a very rough relationship and it put a kind of full stop to it. But then when I came out on the other side, I felt that I was prepared, I was ready, I was stronger, I was much better person, much stronger person, much well equipped for doing this, right? Because I needed to go through those dark days. So for me, when I thought about setting this up, it was a weird one because I was awake one night and all the stuff was coming to me. Just like, and straight through to the following morning. It was like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. By the time I got any sleep, I think I got maybe 20 minutes sleep that morning or that day. I was awake and I was trying to figure out what does Ireland need right now? It needs a bit more resilience. It needs, and what could they look up to? So I said to myself, it has to be something more than what I am. So was there peoples or was there something that influenced Ireland before it became Ireland? And, I came across the Tuatha De Danann. And the Tuatha De Danann were said to have come from cities of the north, where they landed here. They brought elements with them. They brought tools with them. They brought themselves, and the tools represent different things. So there's a spear of light, the spear of Lu, the sword of light, the cauldron of Dagda, and the stone of destiny. So I put the symbols there. They all mean different things. I won't go too much into that. But all this stuff just kept on coming to me and flowing to me and flowing to me. And then as the journey progressed, and I think I told Vic the story, I went to Mayo. And on the journey to Mayo, I stopped off at this cafe, and it was like all about Queen Maeve and the story of the bulls, and all the stuff, murals on the walls. It was fascinating, absolutely fascinating. And at the back of the cafe, there was a bookstore. I said, we must go to the bookstore and have a look around. And then I said to myself, oh, maybe there's a book on the Tuatha De Danann, right? So I went and into the bookstore. I had a look around. And I found this book on Queen Maeve, and it was a series of books that my kid has, but I never really looked at it properly. I opened it up, and at the back page, there was a series of books, and one of them was on the Tuatha De Danann. And I said to the person behind the counter, I said, by any chance, do you have this book? And she said, no, it's very, very hard to come across. Not many people stock it or store it, and, you'd be lucky to find it. So I said, okay, I put the book back. And I was going around the store. She had said nothing else to me. And then I found this book called The Return of the Tuatha De Danann. And it looked like an adult's book, right? And I didn't even open up. I just said, I have to get this book. I brought it to the counter, paid for the book, and then, only then, I opened it up. And inside what looked like an adult's book was a kid's book. And I was like, This is phenomenal, because I was thinking about rebirth and regrowth and stuff like that. What adults need to do right now, they need to come back to themselves, need to come back to their roots, right? So that was one. We drove to Mayo, had a few days there. There was something else that happened, and I can't quite remember what it was. I struggled with it for whatever reason. But then a few days in, we went to this beach. We decided to go to a beach. And at the end, the beach was like a cul-de-sac. This big mountain stopped you at the end of the beach, right? Huge mountain where a waterfall led into the sea, so where the sea meets the land. And beside the waterfall, there was somebody had put a Celtic spiral and built a Celtic spiral into the ground, right? Yeah. And that symbolized renewal, rebirth to me, right? And I was like, this is weird because, I've been thinking about the Celtic spiral as well and how to integrate it and stuff like that. So I was like, why am I here? My conscious mind started to come in and say, why is this happening? What's going on here? This doesn't make sense, but then I said, my heart said, listen, you need to just go with the flow of things here, right? So then on the way back to Dublin, I said, we must do something with the kids. So I was looking up different places and different, theme places, and I came across an Irish theme park. I was like, an Irish theme park? Never heard of an Irish theme park like that discussed mythological Ireland, different things, different aspects of Ireland. I was like, what the heck is this? I think it was called Doing the Slee. And on Google, I saw a picture of this guy holding a spear with his head out of the ground. I said, I wonder, is that the Spear of Lu, right? Which is in the Tuatha De Danann. So I didn't look too much into it. I said, we'll just go. We drove to Doing the Slee. Got there. The minute I walked in, we were at reception, and there was brochures there at the side for Uisneach, in the hill of Uisneach, to do like different themed festivals for different times of the year, like Samhain and Beltane, and So I was like, okay, this is unusual. I'd love to go here because I've always wanted to go here. I opened it up. First page talked about the Tuatha De Danann, and I was like, what is going on? What is going on? Right? So walked around, went in, did the thing, and then we came to the end. And at the end was this head, this spear in the ground, and beside it was this caption and the seat made out of bog oak. And the caption talked about Lu and the Spear of Lu. And it was Lu and his head sticking out of the ground and the spear. But the spear is made out of a 3,000-year-old piece of bog oak. Right. And the Tuatha De Danann were said to be around at around 3,000 to 4,000 years ago.
Right. Okay. Yes.
For me, this was profound, and I was like, this is weird. And I said it to my wife, this is very weird. This is, started working on this logo. Somebody came to me through it's an ecosystem, and I wanted to align with certain coaches here in Ireland. And there was a girl who wrote a book on the children of Lear, who I've teamed up with, and
Yes.
she put me in touch with a girl named Deirdre, right? And my mum's name was Deirdre. So I said, okay, this is a graphic designer. Never wanted to work with a graphic designer before because I felt that it didn't fully come through me. You know what I mean? I'd like to put my hands on it. I'd like to, I'd like to put something together. So I never worked with a graphic designer before. And this graphic designer, when I met her, she was phenomenal. She like we didn't meet in person, but we met like this. And she said, "Do you mind if we do something with you that I do with some of my clients?" And I said, "Yeah, sure. We're going to do a meditation." So here is a graphic designer saying to me that we're going to do meditation, and I was like, "Whoa," So, but she is very into Irish mythology as well, and she said, "Are you sure that this is what you want to call the company? Because there's a lot of, responsibility behind this and behind that name if you want to go with this name, right? Because those peoples are, they're very, renowned and part of the Irish lore and part of Irish mythology." And I said, "Yeah, of course, I want to do it." So she said to me, "We do this meditation." We did the meditation, and I seen a door, like a portal, that was in a tree, and all of a sudden this wolf came up beside me and just sat right beside me as I was at this door and a portal and about to go through. And I remember going through, and then just this brilliant life, and then that's the last I kind of remember of the meditation. Came out of the meditation, she said to me, what did you experience? I told her, and she said, "Well, the wolf means that it's about leadership." But the wolf was a profound and mythical creature here in Ireland as well. Mythical, not mythical, because there was wolves in Ireland, but they showed strength, they showed courage, they showed leadership, they showed a lot of things, and the wolf was very, very strong. And a very strong spirit animal as well. So I was like, "Well, this is crazy," So we talked, we worked on the design. This took 3 months. At the end of the 3 months, I said, "Listen," or 3 to 4 months. At the end of the 3 months, I said, "Listen, Deirdre, I think I've exhausted you." It took a lot of time, but that wasn't the finished product. It was very kind of cluttered. So I passed it on to somebody else. That's another story. But the tree on it is a tree of life. Okay, so the tree of life, I wanted it in it because it's strong in Irish culture as well. It's very well grounded, branches out. But then I realized that the tree of life, I've seen it somewhere before, and I said, "Where have I seen this tree before?" It's on the O'Connor crest, which is my mum's surname, right? So it's like the tree of life is there, but it's also the O'Connor crest. And I feel that my mum is guiding this as well because I hold her here and close to my heart, right? And then the Celtic spiral is there as well because of all the stuff that's happened. So this woman's name is Deirdre. I met 2 or 3 other Deirdres along the way. There was a meditation thing. Do you guys know Ray Behan? You heard of Ray Behan? No. So Ray Behan, he works a lot with frequencies and the solfeggio frequencies. So went to one of his seminars.
Where is that?
She's got a purple bag or green bag with the.
I've got a green velvet bag with the tree of life on, with my tarot cards in. Yeah.
Wow.
My bedroom.
Oh,
Next to my bedroom.
Yeah, and
wow.
the set. Remember, I showed you the first time I spoke to you. The Celtic spiral.
Yes. On the tablecloth. Yeah, that's right. That's right. We're all aligning. We're all coming together.
Yeah, sorry. But you were saying about
about Ray Behan, right? So I went to this seminar. Didn't know this guy, but the place was packed. I was like, "Who is this guy? I've never heard of him before." And lots of people had heard of him. So I went in, did the thing, talked about solfeggio, talked about the frequencies. Brilliant first day. Second day, we did a meditation where everyone was in a circle, and like you had to go around. You talked about the circle earlier on, about the dancing in the circle. Everyone was in a circle, and we all had to put our hands in each other. So there's somebody in the center, then a few people around them, a few people around them, a few people around them, and we all put our hands on each other. I was on the outer ring. I put my hands on this person. Did meditation. My friend Mark actually was beside me. Did meditation. He didn't get much from it. I got this meditation where my mum came to me. And she said, you need to trust your journey, trust the path that you're on, trust in yourself. I love you. I care for you. And then at the end of it, I was bawling. I was in tears. And Mark looked at me and said, hey, you okay? I said, I don't know. I can't, right? This is, for me, it's, I really got emotional. And then I wanted to thank the woman who I put my hands on, right? And I said, hey, my name is Stuart. Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough for that, and I hope you got something from it. What's your name? Deirdre. I just, and then I told her, and I think I scared her. She disappeared after that. But I just opened up to her and I told her everything that, about the Deirdres and stuff. So that was 3 Deirdres. And the number 3 is very, very strong for me as well. So there was Deirdre, the graphic designer. Deirdre, my mum, actually came to me in that meditation, and the Deirdre that I had my hands on whilst my mum came to me in the meditation. So when we talk about profound synchronicity, that for me is profound synchronicity. And there's been so many more that we probably don't have time to talk on this thing. But for me, I think it's all about the path. And the path that I'm on, and the synchronicity that I have to just let it flow and just go with it. Because if I don't, whether it's been guided by my mum, whether it's been guided by the higher powers, or whether it's just pure coincidence of synchronicity, I don't know. But I feel that it's something bigger than me, and that's
I always say it's like a bit of life in the universe and everything in it. It's like a billboard, and we're just a tiny square centimeter inch in the bottom left corner.
Yeah.
So that we don't know. I'm conscious of time as well. I just want to wrap up. I don't think we mentioned last time about the dragon that you got.
Oh yeah. So the dragon
brought us together. So
So the dragon was a guy that I work with. Like I work with this guy for free because he suffers from a lot of stuff. He suffers from ADHD, Asperger's. He has a lot of stuff going on in his life, and I see that he's a very talented guy. He's very talented in terms of music, in terms of poetry, in terms of he does some rapping and stuff like that as well. And also he's a conceptualist, so he can take an idea and make something more out of it. So when he heard about this, he decided to start working on it, and he wanted to bring in my kind of Oriental roots as well, because my dad's from Hong Kong. So he came back with all this stuff, and I was like, well, where are you getting all this stuff from, And some of these logos were animated, and there was an animated logo where it's me running, and there's a big red dragon coming in over my head, a massive dragon, and then all of a sudden it just breathes fire. And then it kind of pans out then, and it's an amazing. I'll send it on to you, Vic. But then we started talking, and you had just wrote the dragon. You awaken your dragon, right?
With the fire coming out.
With the fire coming out, right? And for me, I was like, why is this kind of ringing a bell with me? Why have I heard or seen something like this prior to this happening? And I didn't know anything about your book. I didn't know that you'd been writing it. I just seen that you posted it one day, and boom, there it was. And I was like, this graphic has already been in my mind, or has been shown to me by somebody. And why is this now? And why did we align and want to come together and do these podcasts, right? So, it was phenomenal. It was absolutely phenomenal. And I only thought about that was only a week or two ago when I said, oh, wow, that's just after coming to me, So
the Chinese dragon and stuff like that, and I was like, because I hadn't spoke to you probably in about 10 years, and then business event in Dublin.
Yeah.
And then we're all see people's Facebook posts and stuff like that, but there's no reason to talk. And then as soon as he saw the book, he just reached out and he says, I really feel like I need to get on to a video chat with you and catch up. And I was like, okay, sounds good to me. Yeah. And within, I was telling Sarah last night how you wanted the podcast, you had the name True You. And I that name and I thought, this is not sitting, it's not meant to be, because there was nothing, everything was taken with that, you know, Facebook names and everything. And then I thought, no, we have to go somewhere else with it. And then that's for the inner mind code. As soon as I put it in, it was available. And I thought, there we go. We're in the groove now. But there's an example of it's not working. Okay, let's try this. Oh, it's working. You know, and the way. Yeah.
For a reason.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
And then it connects and you're like, oh, that's
we're on the right track. So where's the next one? You know?
Yeah.
So, thank you so much, Stuart. This has been enlightening as always, hasn't it? It's been great.
Yeah. Likewise, sir. Yeah. I have a feeling it's just the beginning. I'm feeling we'll do some more stuff going forwards as well. You know, so.
Yeah. You don't have to be anywhere, can you?
I've got to.
You download it. Yeah, download it. I have it anyway. So as long as one of us has a paid version, then we don't get cut off long and all that. So
is there anything we want to finish up on, or anything kind of, you know, any kind of synopsis of what we've talked about? Or
I think developing your intuition helps you with this. I think it's just bring it back to simple basics in that sense. It comes down to learning the language. We're talking about the language of numbers, but learning the language of your inner being and your guides, so inside and outside. They're all working with you to help you. I tell this to people all the time. The universe is supporting you. It's pushing you forward. It's trying to help you. It's never trying to, you know, destroy you, bring you down, put you down. If there's something you're not listening to, that's when you get the feather, the brick, and the truck. So when somebody said this girl had a car crash, and I was like, she didn't stop at a stop sign. And there's the you know, the road sign saying stop, and she you know, there's a car in front. She just followed it and got hit from the side. She had to stop and listen to something. Like I had to sit still for 7 weeks. I couldn't go anywhere. People came and got me with my crutches and stuff like that. You know, just to go, get out of the house. But I couldn't go anywhere. I had to sit and think, okay, where's my life going? Facebook had just, I'm showing my age now, but Facebook had just launched, so it gave me a chance to get into social media. And then once I was back on my feet, the enterprise centres and people like that were saying, you know, could you come and teach it? It's something that businesses need to harness the power of, and And I was like, actually, yeah, because I've been sitting on my backside figuring it all out.
Thinking you would have been wanting to do that. You would have put it out there.
I must have,
I want to go in this way.
Well, I was really teaching IT anyway.
Way back.
Yeah.
And then it comes in later.
Well, yes.
It doesn't always come in straight away.
Absolutely, yes.
So you kind of, you know, you're doing things for a reason. I did directory inquiries for BT.
Right.
And you know what that taught me? Discipline.
Yeah.
I needed discipline.
Yeah. It's part of your journey, right?
Even your keying strategies, it was boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
That really helped me for my future.
Yeah.
And that
part of your foundation.
I've written poems for people that have come back for me.
Wow.
Adult poems. Innocence. One was called Innocence. Somebody was accused of doing something.
Right.
In a circle he was teaching. And I wrote this poem called Innocence in 2 minutes. Later on, I came back and I'm like, did I really write it for him? Or was it for me?
It's a reflection of you.
Was it for others? It's the feeling of what happened.
Yeah.
And with how to deal with it and to not feel blamed.
Yes.
Doing things now for your future, but
That's
not
true.
your tomorrows. It could be your 5 years or your 10 years. And the thing is, don't think, just be.
Yeah. Wow.
Stop thinking.
Like Bruce Lee. Yeah. Don't think, feel. Yeah.
Stop thinking. Don't. Even when I'm doing shows and they're over-analysing, being specific about what I've said, I'm like, oh, it's not specific.
Yeah.
I know what I'm giving you. But I trust whatever's coming out of here is going to you. You don't understand it now, which you're trying to understand now.
Yeah.
You'll walk into the future and you will understand it.
Absolutely.
Stop thinking.
It always comes around.
Yeah.
And funny, that girl that had the car accident, she was over analysing something the day before. And I was saying to her, and she was just giving it all this, and I said to her, stop, just please stop right now. And she says, what is? I says, I've got a song for you. If you're happy and you know it, overthink. If you're happy and you know it, overthink. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, overthink. And she just started laughing. She says, oh my God, to the tea. And I'm like, I know.
Because you sang it, and you didn't say it. Words go in and they don't listen.
I learned Spanish.
Yeah, she took that.
I knew I had to sing it to her. I totally got her attention. It broke the pattern. I'm trying to break the pattern. Yeah. And she says, I have to say that from now on. I says, do. You know, but
the other thing, whatever's happened, it's happened. Stop thinking about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I know.
But you can
there's nothing we can do about it to change it, right? So, you know, you just have to keep on going, you know, and that's it, rather than holding on to the baggage.
Exactly, yeah. So, yeah, but then literally before she got into the car, she started talking about speeding and having an accident and stuff like that. So...
You're manifesting.
Mm-hmm.
I always say, please don't manifest. We're not intelligent enough.
You can put it out there and swing in a prayer and hope.
You're focusing on that. And it's
yeah. Just let it go. Let it go, Lou. Let it go.
But what will you miss? My friend, she manifested TV, top selling book, loads of stuff happened really quickly. She used the silver method.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Happened very quickly. What did she forget? Money.
Oh, God.
Oh, goodness.
See?
Wow.
Like, don't do enough.
Little square inch of the billboard. Where that's how ignorant we are. We're down here, and there's this big other part entity going on of life, and we've no idea.
Don't be too specific. Don't be too specific. Be a bit. Oh,
stop trying to control it.
Dream it. Let's have dream what's forwards. Dream for that house, and just let the dream happen.
Yeah. And all equal to it.
Do a little bit of dreaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what a great lesson to learn. You know. Yeah. Because she got.
You forgot this.
So laughing.
Top television program. Yeah. 4 TV programs she had.
Wow.
I won't tell you who she is.
No. It's 12:12 on the clock.
You know something, guys? A van has just stopped in front of me, right?
Sorry?
A van has just stopped in front of me, and the guy's taking pictures. I don't know if you can see this from my camera. Maybe have I? So it says, "We're with you every step of the way."
He couldn't make up. 12:12 is Sarah's birthday. She was just saying
wow.
that. Van.
Yeah. And to me,
what a great way to wrap up. Look at the archway there. Oh, look at the next.
Yeah.
I have that picture. Oh, the car's in the way. Yeah. See that archway with the plants and all around it? That is the path to victory. Is in the bonus chapter of my book.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay. And white means new page. That looks like
got
a book to be written.
Oh, we do.
There's a book to be written.
The inner mind codes.
Let's all get together and do it.
That van will start to move. White page.
Yeah. Once you acknowledge the message, the messenger usually moves on, doesn't it?
Into gear.
Yeah. But you know, he literally just stopped it. Like he could have pulled in here, and you know, it's hard to stop on that road actually where he stopped because it's a Blessington road, right? So and why stop directly in front of me? You know, it's just it's funny. It really is.
Like somebody's putting it away, and you're like,
but the fact that there, as well. It sounds because I and it was immediately someone pulled my attention to the archway.
That's funny.
It's the path to victory, and there's a mountain in the background with the path.
I've got mountains in my head.
Well, the path is going through, up the mountain to show that this is your path. Yes, you have a mountain to climb, but it's okay. We'll get you over the mountain, and then there'll be a bigger mountain, but you'll be
exactly.
You've done the little one.
You don't need a mountain. And you just drive through that archway.
It's got.
Well,
just go. Yeah. So, thank you very much.
We could go on forever.
Thank you.
No,
we could. We keep on going.
Thank you, Sarah. I'll bring Sarah back, won't I?
Sarah, thank you so much. Thank you. It's been an honour to have you on the podcast.
No worries.
Great day. Have a great future.
We will.
We will, yeah.
They're with us every step of the way.
Yes, whether you like it or not.
Exactly.
Right.